Okay, good morning scientists. I'm going to record this video for you so you know which workbook we're using. So we're in the yellow one. It says background and parent connection. It's the yellow one. Make sure you grab the correct book. So we're going to open up to page 1. It says classifying matter. This is where we're going to talk about different properties today. So make sure you have your science journal with you. And we're going to take some notes as we go. Let's read it to you. It says, how tall are you? How do you know? Do you have friends who are taller? Do you have friends who are shorter? So let's take a second and think about that. How tall am I? Am I as tall as my mom? Am I as tall as my dog? Am I as tall as my mailbox? Think about it for a second. Do you know anyone that's taller than you? Maybe your brother or sister or grandma. Do you know anyone that's shorter than you? Do you have a baby brother or baby sister that's shorter? Let's look at the next set of questions. How do we tell things apart? What are some ways we can describe things? So when things are the same, that means they look the same or they feel the same. And then when we tell things apart, that means they're different. So how can we tell when things are different? And what kind of words can we use to describe them? So I have a fancy vocabulary word for you, and we're going to put it in our journal. The word is called property. Property. Can you say that with me? Property. And property is the look, feel, taste, sound, or smell of an object. And we talked about our 5 senses. So I'm going to write the word property in my science journal. And this is going to be in our Google Classroom also, so that you can write this later if you run out of time. So I'm going to write this definition in my journal. The look, feel, taste, sound, or smell of an object. So I wrote that in my journal. Okay, we can describe things in different ways. We describe some things by their sizes or shape. We describe some things by how they feel or what they taste like. These are called the object's properties. We group things together based on properties, and this is called classifying. So I'm going to write that word in my journal. Classify. Classify means to group. And again, this is going to be in our science journal online, so don't worry about writing everything down. But classify means to group. So let's look at this first picture here. These objects are all bowling balls. Fill in the blanks to classify the other pictures below. So we have a picture of bowling balls here. It says, hint, there are things. Think about how the things in each picture are alike. So let's look here. I'm going to put my protector over here so I can write on my page. You guys can use a pencil and write straight in your journal. So let's look at this first picture here. These are all what? These look familiar. Oh, I know. They're baseballs. So I'm going to write baseballs. B-A-S-E-B-A-L-L-S. Okay, so this is a picture of baseballs. Now let's look at this next picture. Oh, I've got a really big dog with spots, and I've got a really small dog without spots. But what makes these two things the same? Oh, I know. They're both dogs. So these animals are both dogs. No matter how they look or what size they are, they're still dogs. Okay, last picture. Oh, I've got pineapples and grapes, and mango, oranges, blueberries, all my favorite fruit here. So what do all of these different items have in common? These things are all types of fruit. So I can write fruit here. And write it a little bit neater. You can see it. There we go. These are all types of fruit. Okay, guys, let's turn the page. We're on page 2 now. It says objects have many different properties. Remember, we're using our 5 senses. How they look, we use our eyes. Feel, we use our touch. Taste, that's our tongue, our mouth. Sound, that's our ears. And smell, that's our nose. So let's look at this picture here. We can classify all of these objects as balls. We've got a tennis ball, a bouncy ball, a snowball, a squeezy ball, and looks like a marble, which is still a ball. They are all round, but they have different properties too. So we know what makes them the same, that they're all balls. What makes them different? Okay, let's write it down. What makes them different? Well, they have different colors. So their color makes them different. What else? What makes them different? Oh, their size is different. This marble is really small compared to this tennis ball. You know what I was thinking is these three really look pretty smooth, but the tennis ball and the snowball, they look kind of rough. So their texture, how they feel, that's different. So even though some things can be classified the same, they can also be classified different. And if you look here on the bottom, we have those same words we just wrote down: color, size, and texture. So it gives me a little bit more information about these. The balls are different colors. The balls are different sizes. And texture is how something feels, so they all have a different texture. So these are some of the properties we're going to be talking about this week when we're learning about matter and properties. Okay, now guys, we're going to read a quick little story. We are in the green one that says reading and writing. We're in the green book on page 2. It says reading science at the top, page 2 at the bottom. I'm going to read this to you. Follow along with me in your workbooks. It's raining outside and there's nothing to do. Maddie says, I'm bored. Mom says, how about an indoor scavenger hunt? What's that? Asked Maddie. It's a game. I will tell you things to look for and you will try to find them. First, Mom asked Maddie to find things that are shaped like a cylinder. Ooh, I'm going to underline that word cylinder. That is a shape. It's a 3D shape. I'm going to underline that word cylinder. Okay, let's look at the next page, page 3. Page 3 says, Maddie finds these things. A thermos, a salt shaker, a water bottle. Which one of these will hold the least? Least, I'm going to underline that word. Least means smallest. The least amount, so the smallest amount of water or liquid in there. So we've got a thermos, a salt shaker, and a water bottle. Well, think about a salt shaker. You know, when you go to the restaurant or at your house, it's pretty small, isn't it? And the size of a water bottle can be kind of big. So I want you to circle which one of these you think is the least. Okay. You should have circled the salt shaker. If you circled the salt shaker, then kiss your brain. You're right. Now, find something shaped like a sphere, Mom says. A sphere is round. It's another 3D shape. It has height, width, and depth. So let's see what Maddie finds. Let's turn the page. Page 4. Okay, she finds an ornament, golf ball, and beach ball. Which one of these is the roughest? Roughest. Roughest means like when you rub it across it, it kind of is bumpy, it kind of hurts your hands. So we're looking for the roughest one. Out of these three, which one would have the most bumps on it? Circle the one that has the most bumps is the roughest. Okay, you should have circled golf ball. And I'm going to put a little R next to it for roughest. That one's the roughest. Now the question asks, which one is the smoothest? Which one of these would be the smoothest? Ornament or the beach ball? Because we've already found the golf ball. That one's the roughest. So I think that the ornament is the smoothest. I'm going to put a little S right here by smooth. Because when you touch it, it's so smooth. It goes on your Christmas tree and ornament. And last question, which one is the most flexible? Well, that's easy. I only have one choice left. This beach ball is the most flexible. Because whenever you touch it, you blow it up with air, you touch it, it moves, it's flexible, it moves around. So you should have smoothest for the ornament, roughest for the golf ball, and flexible for the beach ball. Now find something that is cold, says Mom. Maddie finds these things. First she finds an ice cream cone, and then she finds some ice. Good. Now let's ask a scientific question. Ooh, I love scientific questions. What will happen if they stay out too long? Well, what happens to the ice cream cone? It gets melted. What happens to the ice? It also melts and turns back into water. Wow, that's pretty cool. So you're telling me that it can change from a solid into a liquid. Very interesting. Next, Maddie finds things that light up. We have a flashlight and a light bulb. Which one of these will get the hottest? So I want you to circle the one that you think will get the hottest, the flashlight or the light bulb. If you were to touch it, it would be hot. Don't touch it, but if you were, it would be hot. You should have circled the light bulb. Whenever you plug in the light bulb or turn it on, it gets pretty hot really fast. That's why it has a shade around it, so you don't touch it. Okay, let's turn the page. Page 6. Maddie looks out the window. The sun is out. The scavenger hunt was fun, but it's time to go outside and play. Thanks, Mom, Maddie says. So now that we finished our story,